Okay, we're live. Live from the exciting campus of Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut. Woohoo! On a Friday afternoon. We have 3 people in the room here.
Yay. It's so much nicer on your laptop.
Hi, Chris. Hey, guys.
So how is it going? Is there any agenda, Pauline?
Mm-hmm.
There is?
Mm-hmm.
Pauline always has an agenda.
Sorry.
Okay, Pauline.
Well, first order of business, don't you guys want to know who your partners are?
This looks like one of those public access TV shows.
Today we're going to learn how to yarn in binary. Later on, we're going to have a special guest who's going to tell us all about bratwurst.
Okay, Garth. All right.
Goodness.
Enough goofiness. Yeah, partners.
Do you guys want to know your partners? It's okay if you don't. You still have to do your project.
Sure, you can tell us.
Okay.
Do you remember them?
Yes.
Remember?
So it was Matt Epler and Larry. Are either of them here? No. That's our 2 missing folks.
Oh, we can email them.
Chris and Alan. Woohoo! Okay. Michelle and Scott, who are both not being shown today.
Scott is. I see Scott there.
He doesn't have his camera
on. Oh, they're both there.
Sorry, Miss Rose, what did you just say?
You're just saying that you weren't showing your faces today, but Scott and Michelle, your partners.
Here, I'm going to type them in here.
Yeah.
Oh. So partners. I'm putting the list in the text. Michelle, and Scott, and you said Larry and
Matt E.
Matt E. Okay.
Dana and Matt Lane.
Okay.
Matt looks happy.
Tony and
Chandler. Craig and Phil.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more.
Chris and Alan.
Chris and Alan. Yeah.
Is everybody? So some of you ended up with the same partners as last time because they worked fairly well, we felt, and then some of you went back with old partners, and some of you had new partners, I think. So, so you should be doing.
So after the hangout, maybe you should try to do an individual hangout with your partner and brainstorm about what you want to do. We'll give you some time on Monday, right?
Yep. So on Monday, we want to see your elevator pitches. So.
Do you want to show
Monday
the
morning.
schedule? The schedule? Well, they should see it.
Okay.
It's with schedule, right?
Okay.
Where is it?
I'm sure you have it open under one of your tabs.
I've got this
Oh
schedule.
my gosh.
Yes.
Seriously. They're like bunnies. If you keep it open longer, you're going to get more.
The last week. Can you do a screen share?
Yeah.
So Ralph is going to do a screen share, and I'll show you the last week schedule.
Here's my handout.
In the background.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's nice.
Present to everyone. Okay, hit present to everyone.
I do?
It asks you for permission.
That's fantastic.
Jeez. That's weird, huh? Let's see.
And that is how we do recursion.
Now I have to get my schedule.
There we go.
Where? There we go.
Here we go.
Oh, can you see the schedule, folks? for this week of 7/27. So Monday, questions about, from the leftover questions from the past 2 weeks when you were working online. Then we'll give you time to work on your projects and your elevator pitches.
Yeah, elevator pitches, yeah.
Meaning we'll give them time to brainstorm on Monday, too. And then we're going to do the Broadcast Hub project. The Broadcast Hub uses the texting component to set up a hub where if any you can join the hub, and if you are a member of the hub and you send a message, it will be distributed to everyone else in the hub. So it's a nice little app that uses texting in an interesting way. We wanted to do it early in the week in case some of you want to use texting in your apps. So you'll at least have one example of it under your belt. And then you'll have all afternoon on Monday to work on your projects. Tuesday, we're going to look at the data and information lesson and talk about flipped classroom teaching style. In the afternoon, we have a lecture on what is the internet. That's still morning. Oh, good. Because I don't like having lecture sessions after lunch when everyone feels like falling asleep anyway. And we'll talk about cloud computing and also another little lecture on how the internet works.
Could be moved to the following morning if you think it's too much.
Yeah.
That way they get their whole afternoons to work on their
projects. We may give you afternoons to work on projects. That would be a better way, it seems to me. So Monday, so that means Wednesday we'll be talking a lot about the internet, how it works, and also how it's secured, where we're going to get back into cryptography. So you'll have pretty much Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all afternoons to work on your projects. Thursday morning, finalizing your projects, probably practicing.
Yeah, it's going to be more of a practice, and the app booklet you see is like getting information. We'll design a booklet with all of your projects in one little handout type thing, one little document, and I'll have like a template, and you'll just fill it in with your information. So it'll be more like scrambling to get your write-ups finished type thing and practicing your presentations.
For which you'll be allowed 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Up to 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a max of 10 minutes, and that's including question time.
At the presentation.
At the presentation. So we may, if you want, we could probably go over and take you over to the auditorium so you can see what it's going to be like that morning if you would like. And then you have the presentations all afternoon. It'll be your presentations and then the student presentations as you saw on the agenda.
Then Friday morning, we'll talk about logistics for the course, the follow-up course. And then we'll have your final exam. And I'll bet you I can figure out a way to turn Friday into a half day.
That'd be really nice. I think that'd be kind of nice.
I don't know. Pauline would have to give us permission, but
there is a lot of stuff because you guys are ending the course, the PD course, but there still is preparation to be made, and it's a lot easier to do and help you in person, all in as a group, to kind of show you what is going to be expected of you for the school year, show you how to navigate through different materials that we have available, and show you what we need from you during the year. So it's just easier to get done in person instead of trying to find a time when everybody's available again during the beginning of the school year when it gets really hectic. And I know that you guys really want to get your devices for your class, at least I hope you do, so I'm going to need to talk with you about how to keep track of that and get me the numbers and stuff. So we'll handle all of that and make sure you have everything you need for the school year.
I'm sure we can do it in the morning, though. So, okay, and then, Friday there's 2 pieces of paperwork. There's a final exam, which should take 40 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour, most, and then there's the final survey, which is 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So, Pauline, you can have the rest of the morning, no more. Okay, are there any questions about the
schedule? How do you say it?
Schedule. I'm going to stop sharing. Well, Any questions about next week's plans? So in terms of the project, you should try to meet over the weekend for a little bit and brainstorm with your partner, because you won't have a lot of time on Monday morning to sort it out, but we'll give you some time.
And it should just be that you're following the assignments and criteria for Create number 2, which is what your students would do. You're just doing the collaborative part. So that really, the official Create number 2, the collaborative part, would be about 7.5 hours. Given the time that we just looked at in the schedule, you'll probably have about 9 in-person hours to work on it. So I think you guys will be more than fine. There's no need to be starting to work on it over the weekend at all, in case some of you are feeling ambitious about doing that. We do want to hear your elevator pitches on Monday so that we can make sure you aren't trying to do too much in the time that you have. But you can use anything that you've learned throughout the course, and it has to be socially useful.
You still have to make the web page with all the information? Okay.
Yep. I put a link in the chat. Try that link. This is a... Don't try that link yet. It's a backpack. Oh, it's too bad. Let me change the link. Huh? Let's see. Oh, shucks, what is that?
It changed on you after you put it in. So we can go back and do it without hitting enter first.
So it's
We're getting the link for you now. That was the wrong link. We apologize. We're getting the correct one now.
is it Backpack AI2?
It was AI2 dash back.
Backpack. .appspot. Oh, I spelled backpack
It's
wrong.
that.
I spelled backpack wrong.
It's not AI2 dot
It's dash.
It's dash.
Dash.
.appspot.com.
Yep.
Okay, here's an instance of App Inventor that Grace, my summer student, worked on. The correct spelling is backpack, ai2-backpack.appspot.com. And the interesting thing about that is it comes with a backpack. So this is going to be good for sharing blocks on your project. What you can do, if I demo it real quick, is, let me share my screen again. Present.
Look at the cool effect for a second.
Can you see my screen, everybody? Hearing everybody?
Yep.
You see the backpack up in the corner here? If you click on it, you get a little flyout. You can barely see it because there's nothing in it. But you can drag blocks into that. And then you can go to it. The blocks will be in that flyout. Then you can open up another project. And so say I make a new project.
You missed this.
Say I start a new project called Tester, whatever. And I go to my blocks, and I can drag the block I just copied into the new project. Notice in this case that it has a little red flag on it, and the reason is there's lots of components and procedures being referenced here that are not in this project. So to fix that, I can, do things like drag in a button to my project, the new project, and now that red triangle goes away. And you'd have to do that for the other components and the missing procedures.
Sounds like a good activity for kids anyways. figure out all the defects from this thing?
Well, it's not so much a defect as it you should know what you should design your project so that you can do that without any red triangles coming up. So, for example, one thing you could do is perhaps one of you works on some procedures, low-level procedures that have to be done, tests them out, debugs them. Procedures don't have to refer to any components necessarily, right? So you can take procedures and copy them in without any of those errors. But if you know that you're going to be working on the button 1 handler, then just make sure you have button 1 handler and your partner has it. So when you copy over the blocks you wrote for button 1 handler, they just come in without any errors.
Very cool.
But this should give you a way of at least somewhat more easily sharing, working together on a project. Okay? So Grace, you saw Grace around this summer, I think. She wrote that, and it's going to be coming out soon, I think, in App Inventor. We actually had it a year ago for our teachers and students, but we had to put up our own instance like that to keep it going, and it just got to be too much work. So finally, I think App Inventor is going to include it. Any questions about that?
Q&A.
I'm having some trouble with the link. Is anyone else having trouble with it? Or?
I was able to open it, and it asked me for permission. I allowed it, and then it said my projects were missing. And then I had my own.
Okay, yeah. To be clear, wait. This is a different App Inventor. Okay, your projects do not exist over this
Okay.
app. Okay. So if you want to work on an existing project, you got to export it from App Inventor and import it. Import it here.
Okay.
Make sure any work you do on this one, you export it when you're done working on it, because this is not a instance that's going to be up forever.
Okay, so it's just experimental.
It's just experimental, and I'll send Grace a message telling her we're using it, not to take it down.
Okay.
But it's certainly, you will not be able to have your projects from your other App Inventor instance to this one.
Okay, yeah, I just noticed I was able to restore my other ones.
I'll put the link in the Hangout again, since I typed it wrong several times. Here it is. That's it. So Chandan, try that latest link.
It does take an extra minute or so if you've never been there before, because it has to load all the stuff with it. So give it time.
Yeah, but I found that tremendously useful, and if you plan your project with your partner and divide and conquer, then you will be able to save yourself a lot of time and still work together on it.
So, who's watching right now? If you're watching, type your name into the Q&A section. No, someone outside. No, guys. I'm talking about someone who's not a part of the Hangout right now. They're just viewing it. Someone's viewing it, and there's a Q&A section that they can type questions into. Can't figure it out, it's okay.
So any questions from the lessons or anything?
The one we had to do today, the location, drawing the map, I thought there was a lot of interesting new stuff in there, specifically the web viewer. I don't know if we've played around with it in application before. But with the idea of the API through the URL, it's such a new concept. While I will walk my students through it, I felt like maybe that's an app they should also build themselves. They have some ownership of the code when they start editing it a little more. It's like a lot of new stuff just to let them post to it. I could be wrong, that was my interpretation.
One problem I have with that is Google. There used to be a lot more information about the Maps API, and now it's buried. And we used to have. I remember the first year we had a sheet that gave you all the parameters and what they do. You can't find that sheet anymore.
I went looking this
Google,
morning.
you went looking at.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, Google. I've spent hours looking for that and can't come up with it. So I'm not sure how far we can go with that. We used to be able to go a lot further, giving them tasks to really control the map, right, through that interface. But lately we haven't been able to. But you know, yeah, I think you're right. Giving them a project to do, but you have to make sure you know what the parameters are, and that you can give them a list and let them work from that.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty frustrating looking around.
It was, yeah.
Things not working the way you think.
That will be our responsibility to provide them with that list of keys or flags to change. But you know, I want them to build that app so that when they get to the changing and all the enhancements, they own that code better. They know it better. That's just my philosophy on it. Oh, that's really cool.
In the classroom, I've seen activities that have helped are going to Google Maps on a web browser and changing things around, like searching for an address, searching for directions right inside the web browser, and having them carefully watch how the URL is changing. Because the chances are they've probably done that type of get directions on the computer. And I think the key there is to show them that what they're doing in the code is what the web browser is doing, right? To show them that they've done it before and now they're just being able to control it with the code. So a couple of activities that teachers have done in the classroom is go and search for this place on the map, see how the URL changes, see and dissect what's in the URL, what are the different parts of it that appear, and then searching for directions to it when it goes right inside the browser, and then seeing how, if the source address comes up there, like seeing that these just weren't made, they're not coming up and coming out of nowhere, right? They're actually things that they've probably seen before, but didn't really pay attention to them when they were in the browser. So it's helpful for them to see that connection.
Also, another thing I noticed, after you add like the label to add your own content, that window is really small, and the UI now doesn't leave just straight the map. It has all the other stuff. So, this is my web space, and I can't even get to the map. So they've changed it.
Is this not scroll?
Well, you disable scroll, otherwise it grows. But once if I X this, it removes the direction. So you finally do have the map, but the directions aren't there. So they've changed Google's interface a little bit so that this doesn't work as you originally desired. So something to think about.
I wonder if they have a different mobile interface.
Maybe. Yeah, a different URL we can seed it to, like a mobile map.
Might be worth looking for.
I know it's in there.
But you can, maybe there's a way to turn off scrolling. When you bring up the map, have it turn on scrolling, turn it on and off depending on what view you're showing.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean this also, I think, getting them to look at those parameters and the values and then figure out how to concatenate them using the string join operation is good coding experience. You do that all the time in programming.
Just being able to scrollable.
Any questions? No, it didn't work.
It did not work. My web viewer is this tall now instead of that tall. I'm going to change the height is set to automatic. So
maybe you have it flipped.
I'm going to try that. Let's see what happens.
What I did is based on what I wanted to show, I made everything else invisible. That gave more room for the map. I also got rid of the list viewer and put it list picker and put in a list view, which I could make disappear if I wanted, so that everything kind of comes up only when it's needed. That leaves more space on the screen.
Yeah, that sounds like a much more reasonable approach.
Because otherwise, you're right. You're left with a map that's so small it's useless.
Yeah.
Well, a little more space, but yeah, same.
And then I also made mine so that you could add contacts with name, phone number, address, and put them all into a tiny DVD. But then that disappears when you're not using it.
Yeah, I think that's that probably is a good approach to hide all, put everything in a arrangement, so you can just hide the whole arrangement. You know about that, right, Greg?
Yeah.
Right. So you hide the whole arrangement, and then you have the rest of the screen available for you.
That's actually another technique that I used to avoid using a second screen altogether. It's like using horizontal arrangements and visible, invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was definitely convinced me about that.
Yeah, if you like screens, you could always just rename your horizontal arrangement screen 1. Right?
Yeah, makes it much easier, and you don't have to worry about passing values.
Right. Great. Well, I'm glad we figured that trick out. You'll share it with your students. Okay. Any?
I used for that up on my reflection as well, if anybody wants to look at it.
If you guys have no questions, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Not hearing a motion to adjourn.
Well, I'll second that motion.
Aye.
Were there any questions, or are we adjourning? I think you guys have survived well our experiment of working from home for 2 weeks. Judging by what I'm hearing and not seeing in terms of email questions and what we're seeing on your portfolio. So we'll talk about it Monday morning, and probably conclude that the experiment was fairly successful.
I mean, half those people probably aren't even wearing pants right now. I think it's a success in of itself.
Yeah.
I know we're not. Oh yeah?
That's right.
Yeah, Alan, you'll already see a couple emails in your inbox. Thanks, man.
Okay, guys, have a nice weekend. Looking forward to hearing about your projects on Monday.
See you Monday.
You too. We'll see you.
Have a good one.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.